Hey guys, Liquid Fire here. Thanks for joining me again tonight. Well, actually, technically today. So it's a daytime recording this time. Although in game it's nighttime, so it's really confusing. So either way, thanks for joining me. So we did get a surprise drop today. So a little bit of an update for Way of the Hunter. So version 127.1 build 154422 came in today. And with it, we got this new scope that you see on screen. The Integrix IX6 3x8x44 first focal plane. So it is another first focal plane scope. And the first thing that jumps to my mind is, okay, it's 3x18, it's first focal. Why do I want this over the 21X? The Bushnell Elite scope that almost everybody runs. So the answer is the nighttime. So if you look at it, it's not a bad looking scope. The reticle is not horrible. If you like a busy reticle, it's not bad. If you like something really clean, really simple, maybe it's a little busy. Maybe. It's not bad. It's certainly less busy than the 21X, and although it doesn't really talk about it, the reticle effectively is a lighted reticle. So even in the dark, it is going to stand out. Even if you can't see what's behind it, it's going to stand out, which is nice. And it does a nice job of gathering light. That's kind of what its purpose is. So here we're in Nez Perce, of course, just looking down at some deer down in the bottom. Let me jump over to the 21X. So this is the normal Elite Tactical. And you can see the reticle is a little smaller. And I'll jump over to daylight here in a minute. But you can see the reticle is a little bit smaller. Let me squat down so it's not moving. But it's black. And in the dark, it's hard to see. Okay, so that's full zoom. And it happens to be a really dark night for me right now. So it worked out perfect for showing how it could look. But it's very dark and hard to see. Now if we jump over to the new scope, the Integrix, you can't see anything right here, but you can tell that the reticle still stands out. And looking down into these trees, you can see the trees pretty clearly. You can see the grass just fine. Let me zoom all the way in. Now if I do the same thing with the 21X, you can still see the trees, but it's much darker, harder to see, and of course the reticle is much harder to pick up. So I think that this scope probably was supposed to be part of the night vision pack, and something got delayed. That's my guess. Now the one bad thing that I can say about this reticle is it is a little thicker. So, oh, my deer have moved. Where'd they go? Well, where did they go? Can't find them anywhere. Well, that's a bummer. I was going to use it to show how it would look on a deer, but they have moved away. Oh, there they are. So here we are zoomed in. You can see, let me squat back down. I guess I was squatted. So you can see when you're holding breath and it's zoomed in at its tightest, it's not super tight. It's not really small. And that's not a huge range. We're 500 yards out. So that's not as good as it could be. It's a little harder to tell with the light. Yeah, let me I have some. There, that'll make it real bright. Sorry, using my reshade. So that's the brightest I have. But you can see here, yeah, that's a much more precise dot. And I'm in range. No, I'm not in Ranger. Okay, so we can turn 100 cents on. No, we can't. Oh, that's so bright. Okay. Oh, 100 cents options are blocked in multiplayer. I didn't realize that. What? Oh, I guess I'm in Hunt or in Ranger, and either way, doesn't matter. I can't use 100 cents, but you can see the dot's smaller. But it's not bad. It's good enough to where you can put it in the lungs. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Alright, let me turn that back off because that's hideous. Alright, so that's the new scope. And yeah, I think it's a win. It's not anything amazing, but it's not bad. It's completely usable. It's a much, much, much improved update from the old 18X. So if you want something that gathers a little more light, I think that this is a good option. It's obviously not the night vision stuff, but it's a pretty good option. And I mean, you can tell, I mean, it's gathering a lot of light. So that's cool. Something else they did is they doubled the range of the headlamp. So if you turn the headlamp on, you can see it lights up a long ways now. So if you kind of look at these trees in the distance, you can see where it starts lighting them up. Kind of looking right here where the up a bit. Now that looks really aggressive, the change, but it's actually not that aggressive if you're zoomed in. The LOD changed, and the light is impacted by the LOD. So you can see here where it looks like about 60, get back to 65 meters. You really can't see the trunk of the tree hardly at all. But as we move in closer, you can see the light starting to light it up more and more and more. Let me get past this here. And yeah, that's a nice job. So here we are at, you know, about 50, 53, 55. Okay. So let me turn it off. And that's it with it off. So that doesn't seem like it would matter a ton, but let's go grab that crossbow scope, take a look. So if we put the new shadow view on, if you remember, it was just a low light, not night vision, but a low light type scope. So you got the red dots, which are nice, but you can't see great. Now if we flip the light on, now you've got a much better optic. But let's go grab one of the other scopes and compare it to the X speed. So we've got the X speed on this guy. And I think for regular bows, this will be perfect. the lighting range. So here's the new night vision down through here. We'll turn the headlamp off, so you can still see, but it's much better with it on. And if we go to the other scope, turn the light back off. See, it's not nearly as bright. You can't see the reticle at all. I wish you could turn the headlamp on and off while you have the scope up. But now, even at this, what is it, 50 yards or so? Yeah, 55 meters. You can see well enough to use this. And I know you can shoot a lot further than that with the crossbows. So that's helpful, but where it's really going to make a difference is if you go to one of the compound bows or the recurve, whatever. So we'll just grab something. Alright. So we've got the Wonder now with just the 3-pin. The pins do light up well. So you've got decent light. Everything looks okay. The lighted pins are really nice on this. You've got a shadow. I forgot there was a shadow. I mean, it's nice that they put the shadow in. That's real. But does it really help any at all? I was thinking it would, but I don't know that it actually does. I guess it helps some. You can... So like in there, it's really, really, really dark. Yeah, it helps some. Not a lot. The shadow, unfortunately, gets in your way. But, I mean, that's kind of real. Yeah, the light, you can't see it at all anymore because it's gone, but it was on the brim of his hat. So it makes sense that the bow would be blocking it. Wow, I guess I'm not in Ranger mode. You just don't have hunter sense at all? That... I don't know how that works with multiplayer now. I'll have to dig into that. That's different. But nonetheless, the light helps. So that's a nice change. Especially if you use the light at night. I'd never use it. I hardly ever use it, I guess I should say. Occasionally I might. So one of the other things that they did, we'll just grab this, is they changed the reticle size on the new night vision scopes. Actually, they say they changed the reticle size, but I don't know if they actually changed the reticle size or if they just set it up to no longer zoom. So if you remember when they first came out, they were effectively first focal plane. So whenever you zoomed, the reticle would change size with it. Now when you zoom, the reticle doesn't change size. So that's, I mean, that's good in terms of not making the reticle huge. And I don't think many people are going to be using the first focal plane capabilities on these scopes anyway. So probably a good change, an easy way to make the reticle not just look massive and hideous when you're zooming in. So that's a nice little change. And the other thing they did is they supposedly fixed the grass popping up. So we're going to jump in here, change time to daylight. What? Oh. Okay, that far. What am I doing? We'll just go to noon. We'll take a minute to get there. We'll go ahead and change back to the other scopes so we can look at them in the daylight. So that's going to have the Integrix on it. It's $2,210 I think. It is free in terms of like no DLC you have to buy, so it's a free scope in that regard. But you do have to pay to buy it. I took a screenshot of it, so I'll pop that up if it's not 2210, but again, I think it's a nice scope. I think they did a good job with it. And it does a good job gathering light, the reticle being lit. It's handy. Alright, so it's going to be daylight here in just a second. Let's see if we have some deer down here. No deer. No, oh, here we go. There's our elk. So, squat down. It's just so you can kind of see the reticle size. This is the Elite, which has a great reticle size. It's a very busy reticle, but it is a nice working first focal plane scope. My favorite scope in the game. And now using the new 18X, you can see the reticle's just a little bit bigger than what I would like. That dot, if it were like half the size, would be wonderful. But it's not bad. This would not be enough to stop me from using the scope. And the first focal plane on it does work properly. So if you hold a lead while you're zoomed out, so if we look at, we'll set the 2 here on the edge of this shadow. So there we're kind of bouncing on that shadow. If you zoom in, well, I moved it and the shadow moved. Alright, let's go up to a rock. Alright, so we're zoomed in right on that, on the left 2, those rocks. And if we zoom out, they're still right on the rocks. So I'm moving a little bit. I tried to hold it still earlier to test it. It does hold its position. And it's the same thing, vertical and horizontal. It does hold if I don't move my mouse. So I think it's a nice scope. So again, just to kind of quick recap. Oh, we need to go check the grass. Sorry, I forgot. Let's go, let's fast travel somewhere. Should be some grass down here we can look at. Get past the stump there. So you can see the LOD changing a little bit as we back away from this hill. You see the shadows changing. Alright, let's walk down through here. Or run, see if anything pops up. You can see the grass is still kind of popping in as it changes LOD. If you're walking slowly, you can see it. But it's not growing up out of the ground like it was. Let's go up on the hill here and see if we see anything. Yeah, we saw it change. So there is a good example. So you can see it pop in and pop out. So pop it back up on Ultra. So you've still got the pop in, which is the LED changing. But it's not growing up out of the ground like it was. I noticed it the other day in a hunt. It's on video, but it's not out yet. And it was not the grass, it was some sort of little bush things. I don't even remember what map I was on. But, I mean, they grew like 3 feet. It was really bizarre to watch. So we'll just kind of run through here and see if we see anything. I don't see anything growing. It's looking pretty good. We'll change it back over to, oops, wrong button. To our low foliage. I'll clear out a lot of the clutter under here and see if we see anything obvious jumping. It was kind of like the size of these almost, but it was like a grassy thing. And they literally just grew from nothing up to like 3 feet tall. So yeah, I mean, there's still some popping and stuff like that. It's too bright. But it's not growing anymore, I don't think. So I think that looks pretty nice. I'm so confused about what's going on with the Hunter Sense in multiplayer. So, I don't have the reticle, but I have this stuff. I don't know. It gave me the indicator, but not the range. I don't know. I don't spend any time in multiplayer. It's super freaking bright. Jeez. I have to use my actual bright daylight one to tone it down. It's just too bright. But yeah, I don't see anything growing anymore, so I think they've done a decent job getting that resolved. Let's see if we can find this fox. Where's he at? Oh, we've been spooked him. We came in too hard. I'm not surprised. I was going pretty quick. Okay, here we go. Alright, so here's our normal Elite Tactical full zoom. Nice small dot. Easy to pinpoint where you're going to hit. The new Integrix. Still not an issue. Probably a little high. Yeah, I mean there's no issues with the scope at all. I don't like how washed out it makes the blacks look. Like if you're just looking at this tree, I mean it's really washed out. That's, to me, looks much better. So I'm not a fan of that. But I mean it's not game breaking or anything. I mean you can see it's, yeah, it's pretty significant, I guess. But it's fine. You can see well with it. You can obviously shoot just fine with it. You can see the first focal. Ooh, that would have been a good one. The first focal plane stuff works on it just fine. Female. But yeah. It does really wash out things. course, at that range with all the haze. We got another badger over here. I'm not sure why I'm worried about shooting anything for this, but just playing around with the new scope, I guess, and then showcasing the old one. Another female. But yeah, so again, just to kind of recap everything, they added the free rifle scope, free in terms of the DLC. You don't have to buy anything to have access to it. You do have to pay for it. I believe it was $22.10. I'll throw a text up if it was a different price. I did take a screenshot of it, so whatever the price is, I think it's $22.10. They added it. That's the 3x18, and it is a really good option for nights. I do like it for nights. I would use it instead of the 21X at night. It's pretty good. They added the headlamp. Well, they didn't add the headlamp. They doubled the range of the headlamp, and they did a nice job with it. It's not something that's like on and off at 60 yards or 75 yards. It fades in and all that very well. They did a good job with that. The grass, they say grass pop in, grass appears abruptly from the terrain. It still, to me, pops in. I mean, you saw it was popping. But it's not growing and like, growing like a zombie or something. So I guess that was their fix on that. And then for the two Overguard Night Stalker scopes, the 5x15 and the 3x9, the reticle does not change when you zoom. So effectively, that gives you a smaller reticle when you're zoomed in all the way, which is a good change. It really is. It was way too big when you were zoomed in. I liked that they did the faux first focal plane. It's digital, it's not on a focal plane, so it's just a look. And it's common with a lot of the scopes to do that in real life. So it's not too surprising that they did it to begin with. Okay, let's use this other scope. See, I mean, let's check our range. See, we've got Henderson's on, no range or anything, but we're at 100 yards. Works just fine. Oh, I need to reload. Oh, I missed. Oh, that was way behind him. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I think they did some good changes. I think it's a nice little update. Oh, we're about to get ran over. Yeah, you better run. Where are you at? Off they go. It's some nice changes. I think it's a nice update. The only downfall for this scope is the reticle's a little big, and it's a little washed out during daylight, but not enough to hurt anything. I mean, you see here, we were looking at deer, we're shooting stuff, no issues. We could take stuff at long range. Now, if you're doing 1,000-yard shots, maybe you would rather stay with the 21X. You get the extra zoom and the smaller reticle. So in that regard, yeah, you have a better option. But it's perfectly fine. It's a good scope. You can run it 24/7. So I'm happy with the update. I think it's a nice little change. I do think this rifle scope was probably intended to be part of the night vision pack, but that's all right. So I don't know what other fixes they snuck in. Only have the updates that they gave, so we don't really know what else could be in. There hopefully are some other fixes that we just don't know about. All right, that's it. We're wrapped up, guys. Y'all have a good night, good day, whatever. Y'all have a good one. But y'all have a good night. God bless and happy hunting.